On the one hand, it was a perfect description of what we were trying to accomplish in search. And yet, it was also so broad as to leave the door open for all of the many, many directions we wanted to go in the future.
AI has been an important way we approach our mission, powering so many products people use every day.
I don't think any of us possibly could have seen where this story was going to go.
Imagine an AI system that could help predicting skin cancer.
Or catch diabetic retinopathy.
How can machine learning models better predict natural disasters to help save more lives?
If we can reliably predict protein structures using AI, that could change the way we understand the natural world.
What if people with special needs can communicate using their eyes, dramatically improving their lives? Or intervention and care are provided to expecting mothers just at the right time.
It's not just coming up with a great technology-enabled solution that helps people, but helping people at scale.
I still think this is only the tip of the iceberg. We're not even scratching the surface yet of what is possible.
At Google, we believe that AI can provide new ways of approaching problems and meaningfully improve people's lives. And we're just getting started.
At Microsoft, we're optimistic about the future. Artificial intelligence changes the way we can use data to make new discoveries and improve people's lives. As a data scientist, it has always been my dream to apply technology for the benefit of humanity. I've been fortunate to do this work at Microsoft AI for Good Lab, where for years we have partnered with organizations and leading experts across North America, South America, and Africa. We are using AI to update maps of communities around the world to help ensure they receive the essential resources they need, to understand where people and structures are located so we can better prepare for and respond to natural disasters. We can even use AI to assist doctors in early diagnosis of these diseases to help people live longer, healthier lives. In some cases, AI isn't just a solution, but is the only solution we have. Though we have learned and accomplished so much, there are still so many more opportunities to improve the lives of people around the world. We hope you join us in using AI for good.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Mahak, are you there? Hope I am audible to all.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you.
Participants? Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, they are sharing in the chat box. They are audible. You are audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome back for our next session on ethical AI framework for governance. So, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, Professor Manju Singh. Welcome back, ma'am. Professor Manju Singh is a professor in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences
Shweta,
at MNIT.
Shweta, when you are like welcoming me back, so I don't think introduction is required. So
Well,
maybe,
just a
okay,
small
go ahead as a procedure.
introduction. So Professor Manju Singh is a Department of Humanities and Professor at the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at MNIT. With over 4 decades of experience in the field of academia, research, and public policy, she earned her PhD in the economics from Sardar Patel Institute of Economics and Social Research, Ahmedabad, and completed a postdoctoral fellowship from London School of Economics on public policy. Her research has been supported by leading institutions such as Planning Commission, UGC, Ford Institution, covering themes like technological adoption in rural India, drought vulnerability, women's empowerment, and community engagement in higher education. She has received over 50 awards and recognition, including the Sir Ratan Tata Postdoctoral Fellowship Award at LAC, with multiple gold medals and editorial roles with leading journals. She is actively involved in the international collaboration with UNESCO, University of Victoria, and other global partners on community. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. As a token of our appreciation, we would like to call Shrishti Di to express a small token of appreciation to ma'am.
Thank you, Shrishti.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure all of you are gaining some very meaningful information and practical understanding of the subject on which it is drafted, so that in future AI can be used for everybody, not by only technical people, and it can be utilized ethically. So all the sessions which has been scheduled till now, I found it's very relatable and very useful for our own work, and especially when the group is mostly, I won't say everybody is there, some few are industrialists also, some are having some other background also, but mostly are researchers and faculty members. And I believe researchers who are aspiring for the career of teaching, and the teachers who are trying to do create something very new information and knowledge in their field, this AI, which cannot be now ignored by anybody. So this course will be, all the sessions are going to help you a lot. So today's my title, my area is Ethical AI Framework for Governance. We have seen like how ethical or AI is working, how ethical AI or AI is researched, developed, and deployed. So in that sense, governance is a very, very important thing. Some of the idea is already referred in earlier sessions, but I think it will be useful to understand what governance, what execution principles can be used and are being used by the different countries globally, and so that we can understand how it is going to, like how government is making effort for making AI use ethical. So that way, if we see, so this is my ethical AI framework for governance. Just a minute. This one, okay. So in current time, if you see, I will start with the quotation from Victor Hugo, who said in his speech to the French National Assembly, everything is okay? Mm-hmm. Give me 1 minute to adjust everything. Yes, now it is fine. So he said once in his speech to the French National Assembly, in way back July 1851, that no power on earth can stop an idea, and whose time has come. And I believe already time for AI has come, and it is going to be used worldwide. Artificial intelligence is the idea which is not only attractive, but it is powerful, transformative, and unstoppable. Today only morning I was listening something The way ChatGPT and AI has spread and being widely used globally, it is tremendous. All other apps which has been introduced, it was taking some time, but AI expansion has been, like I will say, the receiving of this app is super fast. But like every great idea, we know AI comes with two sides: promises and perils, opportunities and the perils or risk. If you see the opportunities, there are huge. Many are already mentioned, but like recently, we all see the efficiency in public services. If we are using AI, it is going to be very, very useful for arranging lot many governance issues. Like in Pune, there was a crowd management done in the recent Ganeshotsav festival, and they have like used facial recognition and generated 1,000 plus alerts on suspicious behavior and crowded density. And this supports real-time command and improved response time and better deployment of officer. So like how, like, because country like India, we need to do a lot of crowd management everywhere, whether at the temple or the festival or anything. So, and we know we have heard lot many mishaps, which is creating, like I will say, governance issues. So that way, recently it has been used. Similarly, for predictive policy making, it's a great opportunity. Maharashtra AI system, which is called Marvel, has launched in 2024 as India's first state-level AI system in law enforcement, and Marvel enhances predictive policies and crime solving. So for the prediction of policy making, Marvel is helping a lot, and this is the first in like state-wise, I will say, that is first any kind of initiative. It uses facial detection, object recognition, and telecom analytics to strengthen law enforcement. Another one is personalized citizen services. We are hearing about this also. They are a Bhashini multilingual platform bridging the literacy, language, and digital divide. And as a part of India's language mission, it is helping a lot because this support translation and voice-based services across multiple Indian languages. If you look at the peril of this and what are the risks with the AI, many we have discussed, but if you look at that, the first and foremost, the risk is bias and discrimination. NYPD, New York Policy Department case has been widely discussed that has faced public backlash after one of its facial recognition system falsely identify an innocent man as a criminal suspect. So this kind of high profile incident highlights the dangerous consequences of false positives, particularly in racial diverse urban environment. Mass surveillance, we know about it. There is everywhere data surveillance is going on, and it is creating concern over privacy and consent. Professor Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Nitin Gupta, and Nitin Mathur, everybody has talked about the like how privacy is a huge concern if AI is being used. So ethical dilemma is always there, and use of AI is predictive policing raises questions of fairness and civil liberty. Now coming to, like, we have seen how AI can revolutionize governance and public services. We understand this, yet it can also deepen inequalities and amplify biases and invade privacy. These are not just abstract risks, they are already making headlines around the world. If you look at the Reuters September 2025, very recent, and their FTC prepares to grill AI companies over impact on children. The US Federal Trade Commission, FTC, is investigating AI companies. Even in today's newspaper also, it is mentioned that AI companies like OpenAI, Meta, and Character AI, they are giving such kind of interaction which is not good for especially vulnerable group. AI chatbot have been reported to engage, even I think Surbhi was also mentioning this, have been reported to engage in appropriate or unsafe interaction with minors, raising mental health and child safety risk. It shows how AI system impact vulnerable group like children. My point of discussing these issues is that unless we don't understand what are the opportunities and risk, the governance cannot touch upon those points. Then AI hiring tool, I think every speaker has talked about it because they favor black female candidates over white males. You must be thinking how it is happening. Earlier, there was favoritism towards white and males, but now because they have trained the AI to de-bias things, so that's why now problem is coming that they are favoring black female candidates over white males. And a study tested hiring algorithm from model like GPT-4.0 and Gemini 2.5 found systematic bias favoring black and female candidate even when qualification was same. So how can this do it? Experts believe this is the result of how these models are trained and the attempts made to de-bias them. So that's again problem. Even after knowing, if they try to do this, that is creating problem. OpenAI Sora video generator shows sexiest and raciest bias. Wired in May 2025, it is reflected that it is like they are perceiving like always men as pilot and CEOs, women as a receptionist and flight attendant. Why? Now that kind of, I will say, conservative thinking and traditional approaches are not acceptable to all. Next is the AI points fingers at the wrong men. NYPD again, they say there is a $16 million tech spark outrage where incident fueled debate on accuracy and accountability of AI in policing. So what you need to know about AI and climate change is also a problem because training AI model consumes huge amounts of electricity and water, worsening carbon footprint. So since first day, we are observing that this AI is consuming more energy than other app. Next is coming. Then how do we manage these risks? How these risks, while like we unlocking potential, how it should be managed? Clearly, the challenges are real and urgent. So how do we address this? That is the main point. The answer lies in the building of AI framework, building of ethical AI framework for governance. So these are the directives, they are the principles which should be considered. One is fairness and non-discrimination, protection of human rights and privacy, alignment and societal values, accountability and transparency, balance, innovation and regulation, and trust building. I believe all these words you have already, you are familiar, especially after this training sessions. So first is fairness and non-discrimination, which talk about that like facial recognition. A consistent stream of studies have shown that facial recognition systems have higher error rates for black and dark skinned people compared to white people. And one of the most comprehensive 2019 NIST study, that evaluation 189 facial recognition algorithm from 99 developers found the black and Asian people were up to 100 times more likely to misidentify by the technology where in comparison to white men. So New York police case, everybody is quoting, it's a faced public backlash, and after the facial recognition system falsely identified and the person was gone to jail, stayed for 3 months, and then afterwards it is addressed. Next one is accountability and transparency. This principle addresses the black box problem of AI, where it is often difficult to understand how and why system arrived to a particular decision. Black box means we don't know how it has reached to a particular statement or personal decision or diagnosis. It cannot be. So that's why agentic AI was discussed yesterday. So ensuring accountability means establishing clear responsibility when AI cause harm, especially when it is causing harm, it has to be known. So who will be accountable for that? Transparency means there should be explainability, help build trust and allow the So if anybody, any government, any state or globally, we want to make AI transparent and accountable, that should be the base and the foundation of this. And then protection of human rights and privacy. The digital, we know that recently in 2023, the PDP, Digital Personal Data Protection, has been started with safeguards privacy by establishing clear rules how personal data can be collected, stored, and used in India. It requires organization to obtain clear informed consent. Means whenever you are using data, there should be a clear indication that the consent has been taken for processing, analyzing, and publishing the data. So that is very important, which DPDP Act 2023 is talking about. Then next is trust building. Trust building again, especially UK. In UK, NHS has been deploying AI-powered diagnostic tools in areas such as radiology, cancer screening, and pathology to speed up detection and reduce clinical workload. This is going to be very helpful because unless you don't trust, how you are going to use it. So UK is trying that they will just explain how in this screening and in the testing, how the detection has been done and how. So with what made this deployment notable to NHS, emphasis on public reporting. They intend to report publicly and transparency the outcome of AI, how trials has been done, what are the accuracy rate, and what is the error margin were made publicly available. This openness helped build trust among patients and clinics. So when you have, as a patient, if you have trust, then only you will go for the AI. Then balancing innovation and regulation. Balancing, this is like long back into 2021, Responsible AI for All strategy for India was started, and this was started by Niti Aayog, which is emphasizing a light touch self-regulatory approach to governing artificial intelligence. See, unless people don't understand what ethical AI is, so people should be able to understand everything in very simple way, so that even nobody wants to make something harmful, but unless they are aware about it, they may face issue of unethical practices. So if it is like very simply defined, people know it, so most of the people are going to use it by themselves. So self-regulatory approach is adopted for this AI, for responsible AI for all. So this way, the framework promotes ethical principles and voluntary compliance by industry players, ensuring that AI development remains agile and business friendly. Next is like, why do we need AI governance framework? Principle is giving you, see, all the things which we are talking about till now in the previous session also, they are giving that the vision is like this, AI should look like. But why governance framework? But to move from vision to practice. The idea is there, but how to execute it, how to implement it. So then we need to have governance framework that ensure these principles are actually implemented and enforced. So governance framework is to ensure that the rapid development and deployment of AI is safe, ethical, and aligned with the human values. And without a structured approach, it can be easily led to unintended harms, as we know this, such as reinforcing societal bias. Sometimes we ourselves don't know that our action can amplify biases unknowingly. So, and they may violate their individual privacy and creating a lack of accountability. So that's why this responsible AI for all in India is very important, that the common man will also be able to understand how to avoid these things. So they foster transparency and explainability in AI decision, protect fundamental human rights, and provide a crucial balance between fostering innovation and mitigation risk. Ultimately, AI governance is necessary to build public trust and ensure that AI benefits all the society rather than becoming a tool for harm or operation. So in that sense, For complexity of AI, it is must that we need to have some framework people will understand, because it is being used in law, economy, health, and security, requiring structured oversight. Everybody should be able to see this. Risk management, help anticipate and mitigate unintended harms before deployment. Standardization, that will give you the idea about the common principle, definition, and how to practice for government or industry or researcher. So if everybody will be aware and this is the framework that has to be followed, so then it will be very easy to be ethical. Policy guidelines, policy guidance help state balance innovation and regulation, encouraging responsible adoption. International alignment, you cannot work alone. It has to be aligned with the international things, ensure interoperability and cooperation across borders in AI use and governance. And accountability mechanism, that's most important. Define roles, so who is responsible for anything, whether developer, deployer, or regulator. So what makes AI framework ethical? Now you can see the different steps for this. So it should be what AI governance framework help us set rule, because the AI governance framework is making rules. See, from vision to practice. In practice, we are making some rules, and then when rules are there, then structures then responsible deployment will be there. It is equally important to focus on how ethical dimension, because rules alone don't guarantee fairness and accountability. Making rule is not enough. We need to see something advanced also. Government tells us how to regulate AI, but ethics guides us on what's right and just. That's why ethical AI framework become essential to complement governance. So you can see initially there will be principles of safety and reliability, fairness and non-discrimination, transparency and explainability, privacy and security. Then when the principles are there, so then the governance, it will be executed. So for execution or for implementation, you need clear regulation and policies. You know the principles, but unless clear regulation and policies are not there, it cannot be implemented. Similarly, technical standards and best practices, you need to develop, you need to follow, you need to understand the global approaches. So that's why I'm saying it's a globally, whatever globally practices are there, best practices are, that has to be used. And then ethical design guidelines, how we are going to design as per conditions. And then there also we won't stop. Even execution is there is need of audit of this or oversight of this. So for that, even any rules and regulations there, regular audit and risk assessment is required, whether how it is working, what are the loopholes, how it has to be like addressed, how to like in the future, so that the same harm is not done, and same, I will say, the ignorance is not done. So that way, and for that, independent review mechanism is made, and grievance, and when you receive through the audits and other way, then grievance redressal is required, and then accountability structure has to be done. So this is like what makes an AI framework ethical. Then this, like with the principle, execution and oversight will be done. Now next is, so I think until now you understand what is the framework and why it is required and what is the base of this. Now coming to the global ethical AI framework setting the standard. So now let's understand what are the global framework which is setting the standards in different parts and different countries. So I'm going to like detail few of things. And which is like, let's turn to the global stage, different, because different international bodies have laid down their own principle. Everybody has their own principle, starting with UNESCO, which emphasizes human dignity, inclusivity, and sustainability in AI. If we look at the UNESCO, so these principles, UNESCO recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence, it was the first global standard setting instrument on AI ethics. And this is adopted by 193 member states of UNESCO. And these are not different from other framework. legally non-binding and holistic, addressing not just technical or economic aspect, but also social, cultural, and environmental consideration has been done, making UNESCO approach comprehensive and human-centered. So UNESCO recommendation emphasize mainly on human rights, social justice, cultural diversity, and sustainability. Unlike the OECD principle, it's different from OECD, which is talking about more voluntary and economic focus. So UNESCO recommendation says that there should be proportionality. I think in my last address also, I say there should be inclusivity and there should not be do no harm. So AI use should not be harmful for anybody, whether they are rich or not so rich, whether they are staying in the remote area, they are different caste, culture, everything. And then it should be, the safety and security should be taken care. Fairness and non-discrimination. Fairness should be everybody should be equal access and understandability. Sustainability and environmental well-being. The AIU should also think of SDG, which is very, very important in terms of sustainability and for climate change. So environmental well-being should also be seen. And human oversight and determination, that is very, very important. Then only it can be real, I think, of use for everybody. Transparency and explainability is required for make it accountable. Responsibility is required, and privacy, data protection, and access to information, that is also very important. So multi-stakeholder and adaptive governance, we know we cannot rely, because it's not only technological advancement, the stake of everybody is there. So all the stakeholders should be included in decision for developing or deploying or even executing everywhere, so that the adaptive governance and the governance can be like in true sense for all. And then awareness and literacy. Without awareness literacy, again, it cannot be equal, and it cannot be democratic for everybody. For democratization of AI, we need to have awareness and literacy. Otherwise, a big chunk, a big group cannot include it in the benefit of this AI. So this is the UNESCO recommendation. Next one is OECD. While UNESCO highlights universal human value, the OECD principle take a more economic and innovation-oriented view. So focusing on growth, accountability, and trust in AI system. So the OECD principle are, in fact, if we see, this is the first intergovernmental standard on AI. And this promote innovative, I think you all know, we are not part of OECD, and it's only a consortia of developed countries. So it's promote innovative, trustworthy, that respect human rights and democratic values. It is adopted by 42 countries, including major global economies such as the US, Canada, Japan, and EU member states. So as I said, they are all developed countries, and it's mainly about value-based principle, which is talking about inclusive growth, sustainable development and well-being, human rights, and democratic value, including fairness and privacy, transparency, explainability, robustness, security, and safety and accountability. So the many principle will be like the most global principle will be used in all the frameworks, but the focus is many times different. And the third one is the European Union's trustworthy AI framework. From guiding principle, the European goes a step further. Framework is like a guiding principle, and they introduced legally binding regulation. So European Union's trustworthy is a legally binding regulation from EU AI Act. This makes a shift from broad guidelines to strict enforcement. So we know the Indian was the data protection and data personal and data protection 2023, And the General Data Protection Regulation was implemented in 2018. In the EU's landmark data protection law that ensure individuals have control over their personal data, including right to access, correct, and erase information. It mandates privacy by design, transparency, and accountability for organization processing EU citizen data. Complementing GDPR, EU's anti-discrimination law is also there, which is covering areas like employment, education, service, and prohibit unfair treatment based on race, gender, age, religion. And EU respect privacy, fairness, and equality, and promoting ethical deployment while safeguarding fundamental rights. So there are three core requirements in a summary we can say for AI system. One is it should be lawful, legally compliant, privacy law. Then it should be ethical, uphold fundamental rights and value ensured, AI used fairly and does not reinforce societal inequalities, and it must be robust, technically reliable and safe, minimizing bias, error, and security vulnerability. Another interesting act from EU, which is very recent, that is EU AI Act 2024. And it is, in fact, if we say this is the world's first comprehensive binding AI law. And it is follow the risk-based approach. So they are saying the AI Act is majorly should focus on the risk, and as per the level of risk they are describing and classifying things. One is because it is risk-based, so label and definition is accordingly. First is unacceptable risk. Sorry. So they say this kind of risk is banned. If AI is having a certain kind of risk which is unacceptable, so that will be banned. Like social scoring. That's a China system. In China, large-scale data-driven system is, in fact, they are evaluating the whole behavior of citizens, how they are using, what they are using, what they are eating, what is their life cycle, what are their financial habits, how they compliance law. In fact, sometime before any job, they just see that score and accordingly they are recruited or they are rejected. So it's very, very risky in a sense, because you are under surveillance every time and your score has been decided. So the large scale data driven, which is evaluating day and night citizens' behavior, like how much they have crossed the traffic line, or challans are issued, or even how they are socially interacting. So it's very risky in a sense. This can impact access, and if your score is low, then you will not be able to take any job, or you cannot travel somewhere, or even you cannot use public services, and raising concern. So this is a huge concern about privacy and autonomy under state control. So this kind of social scoring is really banned, and it is under EU AI Act, it is unacceptable risk. The second one is under this only banned, the manipulative AI. Manipulative AI system that exploit personal data. So data is, I'd say, data is currency, data is oil. And when all the system exploit personal data and try to make something like emotions or vulnerability to influence behavior, such as hyper-targeted, for example, when some political ads are there, some people can understand what is the feeling behind, but sometimes people won't. And they will be decide emotionally many things which may not be true or really practical for them. So this dark pattern in online platform pose risk of undue influence and loss of autonomy and erosion of democratic process. So they are influenced. So manipulative AI. So with the, if I want to think that you should be you should be like, you should not do this. And like we just ask about some suggestion. So if based on the manipulative AI or your data, if they suggest something which is not wrong, not right, then it creates a problem. So this way, another thing is biometric surveillance. Everywhere, everything is being under surveillance, and the use of facial recognition or voice recognition in public spaces, often without consent, raises concern about mass surveillance. You must be hearing the news and reading the article about like all the stars, and many people, they say, no, you cannot use my deep fake or my any kind of images for the purpose without permission. So that is like that's a biometric kind of surveillance is creating problems. So these all kind of risks are banned, and it is considered as an unacceptable risk. Then is limited risk. Limited risk, which is transparency and obligation related. This limited risk category in AI governance system like chatbot or AI assistant are not banned, but most must follow. They say it is not banned, but it should follow transparency obligation. This means whenever an AI interact with humans, it should clearly disclose that it is AI, not a human, so user can make informed choice. Chatbot AI that interact, they must say that it is like your human aspects and human approach and human thinking can be different. It's a completely AI driven, so you should be cautious about it. Then another is minimal risk, which is the most consumer application AI in video games. Minimum risk means like they say like if you are playing video games and all, so they say okay, there's no problem, you can use it. So this way, unacceptable risk, high risk, where sector like high risk, where if we are using AI in health sector or in transport or in education or employment for the hiring or law enforcement or critical infrastructure, so then these are the it should be regulated well strictly so that no harm is there. So this way, the EU Act 2024 has given 4 classes. Any question? Now coming to another country, that is Singapore. Singapore Model AI Governance Framework for Generative AI 2024. Is there any thought, any inputs, any comments from the participants? Should I continue? Okay. So if you look at the Singapore Model AI Governance Framework for Generative AI 2024, in contrast, Singapore has taken a pragmatic approach with its Model AI Governance Framework. Instead of, they assume that instead of heavy regulation, it provides business and practical guidance on deploying AI responsibility in real world setting. So in AI content provenance, in the process of documenting the origin, history, and modification of digital content, especially when AI tools are involved, it's like a digital nutritional table or a verifiable paper trail to media like image, videos, audio, and text. So the goal of to provide transparency and build trust by helping people identify whether content was created by human or an AI or it is mixed. So combination of both. So in that sense, this provides a global reference for building trustworthy. This is Singapore because like we must know the governance model in different areas, different part of the world. So Singapore is saying that it should be human-centric AI system, and the governance framework and principles are included like focus on transparency, accountability, and safe deployment while enabling innovation. So accountability is main, then data, trusted development and deployment, incident reporting, testing and assurance, security, content provenance, safety and alignment, and AI for public good. So if you see accountability, we know there's a clear responsibility must rest with developer, deployer, and user. So somebody should be, like in among all three, there should be a clear-cut responsibility that who will be responsible for what. So if your framework and your policy is making clear everything, so then nobody would have any kind of fear of using AI when they know that if anything happens, so who will be accountable for this? Data, if you see, it is the AI system should use high quality, unbiased, and secure data. So the first condition, because based on data, everything happens, whether it is development or the deployment or execution. So first condition is the data should be unbiased and secure data with all kind of safeguards and guardrails for privacy. Then trusted development and deployment. AI must be built and deployed in a way that it is transparent. So when any patient understands that this is the way the diagnosis happens, so then they will be having more trust that yes, okay, this is good to understand and the all clarity will be there and it will be ethical and reliable. Then incident reporting mechanism should exist to report and address harms, failures, or misuse of it. So wherever anything happens wrong, so that reporting should be there. I think in previous slide I mentioned. So audit is required, and based on incident reporting only, that can be addressed and improved. Security, AI system must be protected from cyber attacks, manipulation, or misuse that could cause harm. Then content preventions, tools like watermarking or labeling should identify AI generated content to prevent misinformation, so that it can be say, okay, this is AI generated, so people will understand how it has been or how the output is developed. Safety and alignment, R&D, ongoing research is needed to align AI with human values, safety, and long-term societal goal. AI for public good, the last one, it should be like responsible AI for all. It should be directed towards social welfare, not only the effect, in fact, the understanding, awareness, and so that the impact, like AI for social good or AI for social impact, can be done in all sector. It is not only technical thing. It should be able to help and impact on the whole humanity. So in healthcare, climate action, education, and it should be accessible by all. So these are the different framework which is being developed very recently and is kind of a model framework. All countries look for that. Just any question, anything else?
Participants, do you have any questions?
When we are going to stop, you tell me, for the break. Shweta, what time we are going to have break?
Ma'am, after 20-25 minutes.
Break, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then it's fine, because accordingly I'll just make it. So India's approach, now we must know what is the India's approach and how it is, what are the trends and what are the examples over there. So India's approach to ethical AI governance, as discussed, we have seen the trend around the world. Countries are experimenting with their own approaches, and from the OECD global principle to the EU's strict regulation and Singapore's practical model framework. But what should India do? Let's see how India is shaping its own journey in AI governance. And India is characterized by the whole of government approach and aim to be an ecosystem enabler, so that everybody should enable. In fact, this initiative from AICTE is also one of the step for making everybody aware about it, so that everybody can use it properly, technically, and ethically, and it can create an environment which is conducive for both AI use and responsible use. So if so it must that we are aware about India's approach for ethical. Now coming to the navigating the future and ethical AI governance framework for India. What is it? In Indian context, what is the ethical AI governance framework? It is overall, if we see, it is a multifaceted approach by the Indian government to ensure the responsible and ethical development, deployment, and use. See, there are 3 steps main: development, deployment, and use of AI. And this approach, Indian approach, is multifaceted. It's addressing all. And why it is needed, we know it because it has the transformative potential, and we have to mitigate the risk so that data privacy breaches, algorithm bias, lack of transparency, and accountability gaps can be addressed. So it's a kind of a democratic use of democratization of AI, in which not only democratization but also for social good or with the full care. So this is why, that's why AI governance is required. Otherwise, I think unless we don't understand why it is needed, there's no point talking about ethical AI. And the key vision, if we see, one is Niti Aayog's AI for All mantra, which aim to use AI for inclusive growth, social development, and solving national challenges in sectors like health, education, and agriculture. So there are ample evidences, ample initiatives which is talking about. If you look at the framework for, like I just mentioned about RBI's framework of responsible and ethical enablement of artificial intelligence, Free AI 2025, which has given 7 sutra for this. I think it will be, you all will be able to understand. Right now, our purpose is just to see what is happening in India. All the things we have already understood in the previous session and with the different experts, and we understand what are the issues. And this only thing, like we are just, like I will say, the deconstructing all the things and try to construct the framework, like what Free AI 2025 by Niti Aayog means and what are the 7 sutra. So India's approach is the latest step come from RBI, because you can see it's 25 only, and which issued 7 sutras for responsible AI in finance. Their importance lies in ensuring that AI-driven system in banking, RBI means finance, I think you understand, and AI-driven system in banking, insurance, and fintechs are trustworthy and transparent and aligned with societal values. So whatever use is had, because banking is also like it should be reachable to all, and unless trust is not there, unless responsibility is not there, so nobody is going to use it. And we know that advantage of AI. We know that without AI, nothing can happen. So in financial sector, it has to be used, but the importance, the most important thing is that it lies ensuring that the AI-driven system will be very powerful, very effective, and like hugely extensive for performance level. But if banking, insurance, and fintech, they are not trustworthy or transparent, then what will happen? Nobody is going to use it, and there will be lots of fraud and other things will happen. And so this is very much required, that it should align with societal values by emphasizing principles like fairness and accountability, explainability, safety, and human-centric design. The sutras aim to build trust, prevent misuse, and support innovation without compromising ethical standard. They also provide a structured approach for financial institutions to balance rapid AI development. We cannot stop the speed of AI, that is for sure. AI is being used knowingly, unknowingly, by trained people, untrained people, and the risk and the baggage will come along with that. So they also, so that's why it should be in the era of rapid AI adoption. Regulatory compliance, setting a benchmark for responsible AI governance, both nationally and globally, is required. So they have given 7 sutra, which is like trust is the foundation. Trust is non-negotiable and should remain uncompromised. Nobody is going to even use AI if you don't have trust that whether we can use AI for knowing our credit reliability or credit validity, or you want to have some loan from there. If you want to see like from where we should take loan, which is the best source for doing and taking that. So if trust is not there, the AI is not giving you the trustworthy information, so you are not going to use it. Accountability, if anything happen, who will? So who is using it? Accountability is required. Rest with an entities deploying AI. If AI is being deployed by RBI, by government, so if anything happens, so ultimately who is responsible for that? That is the second sutra. The fairness and equity, AI outcome should be fair and non-discriminatory. It should be like be accessible to all. Everybody should be able to use it so that the reach and the purpose and responsibility can be attained. Then innovation over restraints, encourage responsible innovation while avoiding unnecessary restriction. Innovation is must, but it should not be harmful. They should be trained, and they should be made aware that innovation is there, but the risk is also there. But if you say, okay, don't do this because the risk is there, so then who will try to innovate many things? So innovation is required, but with restraint. We can use it in responsible innovation, but unnecessarily issues should not be there. Then people first, AI should be supported by human decision making, but defer to human judgment and citizen interest. So India's approach, the latest step comes from this, which is talking about this fifth principle, and then understandable by design, make our AI system in such a manner that this is interpretable for users and regulator. So they must be able to interpret how the design should be made in such a way that everybody understand it. And then safety, resilience, and sustainability. Develop AI that is secure, adaptable, and sustainable in the long term. If anything happens, there should process for that, for address that. So safety is must in. Okay? That's why all these RBI 7 Sutra is talking about. Now coming to the from principle to practice. Till now we have seen that in India, so many principles has been targeted and being utilized in RBI Sutra and all, but like what is actually happening? So principles are there, but what in practice? So India's AI initiative, it will be worthy to understand that what are the main initiatives has been adopted by India. So there is a complete India AI mission, a flagship initiative with the budgetary outlay of over 10,000 crores to build a comprehensive AI ecosystem, comprehensive system. So India AI mission is very prominent and important set. It focuses on one is compute capacity, deploying over 10,000 GPU graphic processing units to democratize access to AI. We are talking about democratization, so there is a practice. India has already started there because computing capacity has to be increased. So government is trying to deploying over 10,000 GPU, and unless it is not, then the who will process it. So for democratization access of AI community, so their focus is to just enable AI use. Then second is indigenous AI capabilities, developing foundational model, including large language model tailored to the Indian language. Indian language is being used, so local according to the local requirement. LLMs are tailored for Indian languages. Safe and trusted AI, promoting responsible AI development and deployment, AI skills. And they are trying to make safe, promoting responsibility during development and deployment both. They also talk about AI skills, enhancing AI education and training across all academic level. We are from in high level, but there are so many courses, so many models, so many, I think, the workshops is being conducted to use it at every sector. So AI skill development is going on. Then digital personal data protection, DPDP, I have mentioned, that is introduced in 23, and that is establishing a legal framework, like how data privacy will be taken care and essential for ethical AI development and use. And then risk-based regulation, proposed approach where AI applications are categorized by risk with stricter regulation for high-risk system. So these are the some initiative which is which are under the India AI mission, a flagship initiative in India. Now, if we say what are the AI in action which is transforming India, to see this, there is language. We are talking about translation, local language, all the AI which is basically in English. People are not able to access that. So localization is required, and for that language and communication is used. Bhashini, I think many of you must be aware about it, an AI-powered language translation platform enabling access to digital services, Indian languages, including voice-based interaction. Similarly, Sarvam 1 and BharatGen, which is indigenous LLM designed to support Indian language and specific Indian needs. So these are two language and communication related. If you look at the healthcare, in healthcare, Cancer AI and Technology Challenge, CATCH, this is being used, which is, I think, we are going to have a huge effect in transforming India in the health sector. And this is this is talking about to accelerate oncology innovation using AI. And similarly, AI for identifying at risk pregnant women, which is partnering with Arman to improve maternal health care by predicting dropout risk from health programs. And there is also AI in medical diagnostic stream, where accelerating diagnosis through AI in imaging and over medical data analysis. What to talk about, like this medical diagnosis, I just want to give you one instance recent. There was one student in our institution. He was having some problem, health related issue. And then he himself has asked help through AI and come to know that what exactly he has. And immediately he decided to go to his home and try to take proper medical care. Although I say it's not correct, but like even the general person, leave the medical professionals, people are using it. So that way, I think there is a huge scope. It's going to help India. It's a vast population where medical facilities are not available till now. And it can transform rapidly and take care of health of Indian population. So this is the language and healthcare. And next is agriculture, which is very, very important in Indian economy. And there are various use. I still remember. These apps are good, but I think what we say, the multidisciplinarity and multi-stakeholders need to be included, because apps is there, like they are helping people, but unless action cannot be successful unless the receiver or non-technical, or I will say the community people and the users are not made aware about it. Again, one like example is coming to in my mind, that in agriculture they try to do some same similar thing like agriculture AI. They were using some kind of training through customized farmer training through digitization. Interestingly, what happened? They say, okay, the whole state was under that, I would say, the pilot project, and the expert team was helping them to use and giving all the advices based on the temperature, based on the rains and the quality and local quality and all. So they had made a lot of things, a lot of preparation, and with all connectivity, even they have distributed the small device also. I'm just trying to give you that, like, how all stakeholders are important, not only technical side or only technical, I will say, contributors are sufficient enough. They are important because unless they don't develop, even say they can deploy, but the only thing is the use. I think in the overall scenario, you may agree with me that the development and deployment is doing great thing, but the use case is a problem. And especially in Indian context, and with my limited knowledge about of the field, see, you can do everything, but unless person who is for whom we are developing and deploying, they are not not able to use it. Because they're saying, okay, we are giving starting AgroStar app, we are making farmer boat, we are going crop wise and content, everything we are making. So just coming back to that story which I am telling you. So the devices were distributed. Interestingly, in those days, the smartphone was not that popular. But even then, when I was the part of that evaluation committee, when I saw that things and initiative and innovation was great, but at the ground level, the user was not able to use it because they don't understand what. Because they were not oriented, they were not made aware about the use. They were not like they were not trained to use like how they can, and that device can potentially change their all agriculture and crop and all, because that, so that they were keeping the device. So a monthly or with a frequent break, they used to see this, but they don't find device use as per their expectation. They say, oh, that phone is not with me, it is with my son or it is with my brother. So this, we say, okay, what you do with that? We thought like you must be getting all information. We say, yes, we are getting all information, but they don't know how to use it. So we don't understand what all these things. So that's why these kind of, if we want to make the action fruitful and like reachable to all, so it has to be in language, and also the proper training and orientation is required for the users, so that all the effort which government and the innovators and the researchers and technocrats are doing, it should reach to them. So why I am sharing this, because we are talking about like how it is changing, and change of India, transformation of India will entirely depending on all three foundations, three legs, I will say. So in agriculture, there is AgroStar app using AI to help farmers with crop yield and sustainable practices. Farmer Boat and like chatbot, AI voice bot providing real-time crop pricing information in multiple Indian languages. Then crop-wise, cotton-wise, see, they may provide with Indian languages, but unless it is not as per their requirement, that won't be useful. So we need to see all the points with the angle of user. Similarly, CropWise or Cottonize AI system for early warning of crop threat and pest control, that also guide them how to do it. And now coming to the governance and public services, we need it because for governance is for everything. For providing public services, don't forget the Mahakumbh of recent Mahakumbh, where the whole India was there and preparation was then. So the Mahakumbh 2025 AI solution is also prepared. AI powered crowd management, real time monitoring, and multilingual chatbot assistance. So that has given a lot of idea. And then MCA 30 portal utilizing AI ML to streamline corporate filing and regulatory process. And another interesting is the Digital Sansad app, which is talking about AI platform for transcribing parliamentary proceedings. So there is, if we wish, we can see what all has been discussed and things can be done. Now coming to the Niti Aayog's principle of responsible AI. I mentioned in the beginning, Niti Aayog, there was responsible AI for all in 2021, and they are talking about safety and reliability and deploy safety. I think one participant is from Niti Aayog, So safety and reliability, which monitor life cycle, ensure safeguards and redressal. And for this responsible AI, it's a big document, in fact. And it's talk about equality, equal treatment under similar circumstances, inclusivity and non-discrimination, no bias or exclusion based on identity, ensure fair access, and privacy and security, protect data with strict access, control and safeguard, transparency. It should record and enable audit of AI design and functioning. And then accountability, clear responsibility, who will be responsible for what, and impact assessments, auditing grievances and mechanism, and then human values, promote positive values and maintain. So it is a unique frame in India's AI strategy as a balancing act, promoting innovation with ensuring ethical safeguards. Unlike more restrictive framework like EU AI Act, it takes light touch, self-regulatory approach, and encouraging experimentation of private sector growth with embedding principle of ethics, inclusivity, transparency, and accountability. Now, next is AI governance ecosystem of India. What are the policies? So we can just shed light on quickly. And what are the policy, institutional, and data framework? Niti Aayog focus on balancing innovation and ethics. India has also backed this with strong data governance measures like DPDP Act, which have been mentioned multiple times, and other policies that safeguard. So let's understand one by one. What DPDP Act, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. It is the first comprehensive law focused on protecting citizen digital privacy. Unlike EU's Act, which is more stringent, DPDP Act takes a simpler consent-based approach. So whatever data you have, you need to give consent that it can be used or not. And the consent-based approach, organization must obtain clear user consent for data use and give individual rights to access or make it correct or even erase their data. It establishes the Data Protection Board of India. So this DPDP Act will be obviously governed by Data Protection Board for India for enforcement, but also provides the government with certain exemptions. For example, if national security and public order is there, then it can make it more flexible compared to global framework. Another key difference is the focus on local data storage and allowing the government to access non-personal anonymized data for policy making and innovation. In short, the DPDP Act tries to balance privacy with India's push for AI and digital economy growth, making it less restrictive but more innovation oriented than Western model. So this is the DPDP Act. The second is National Data Governance Framework Policy, NDGFP 22. It was introduced to make government-led, anonymized, and non-personal data set more widely accessible. Its main aim is to unlock public data for the use of AI research, innovation, and startups, enabling new solutions in areas like healthcare, agriculture, smart city, and by creating a framework for data sharing through a planned India dataset platform. The policy seeks to strengthen India's digital economy and boost its AI ecosystem. Unlike the DPDP Act, which focuses on protecting personal data, it is about utilizing non-personal and anonymized data responsibly. Because we know, most of us know, that without data, we cannot analyze anything. So we need to have some data, then only we can make some recommendations or future policy or something. So without data, nothing can be done. So this is a kind of this is related to open public data for AI research and startups. And then is MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. That committee is framed in 2022. And it has played a key role in shaping India's approach to AI governance, and it draws inspiration from global framework like the OECD AI principle and aims OIC principle, which aims for operationalizing ethical principle through its life cycle approach and then ecosystem views. So how it will developed and then corrected and then how it executed well. So their recommendation focused on expanding access to high quality data set to drive AI development. In critical sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, and finance, while also promoting the growth of AI industry and startup, at the same time, the committee emphasized the need for the ethical AI practice, fairness, transparency, and accountability, but suggested implementing these through non-binding guidance and self-regulation. Self-regulation is the most easy way of execution because when people are aware, they themselves will restrict about like how, because the strict law means law execution, and then like if anything deviation is there, then what should be the action and what should be there. So there is a long process. Instead of that, it's always better that it is self-regularized. This reflects India's broader strategy of adopting a light touch governance model and that prioritize innovation and industry growth while leaving room for flexibility in managing risk. Next is Department of Tribal Commission. I think most of us know that. That is, they have released vision for an AI stack, and it is talking about creating AI stack designed to comprehensive digital infrastructure to support AI development in India. See, digital public infrastructure is must. No innovation, no digitalization, no, I will say automation can be done unless digital infrastructure is there. So if digital public infrastructure is there, so then it will be like it is a proposed stack, including databases, computational resources, APIs, and governance process that could act as a common platform for building scalable AI solutions. So scalability will come only when this stack is there. This idea was to provide a standardized framework that developers, startup, government agency could use to design application to areas such as healthcare and all. Much like the successful India stack for digital payment and identity, we all are aware about UPI, Aadhaar and all. So this is AI stack was envisioned to democratize access to resources, reduce duplication, and enable collaboration between the public and private sectors, while ensuring governance mechanisms were in place to address ethical and security concern. And the non-personal data policy. The non-personal data NPD policy 20 was introduced to create a framework for the economic use of anonymized and non-personal database in India. The policy recognized data as a valuable economic resource that could fuel innovation, research, and entrepreneurship by allowing the sharing and trading of anonymized data sets such as traffic pattern. See, when we have a database anonymized, and it can be used for if you want to see what is the traffic pattern, and accordingly infrastructure will be developed and traffic management strategies will be adopted. Similarly, agricultural statistics will give you idea. So with the on the basis of the data which is available, then so whether it is agriculture or climate or weather, the government aim to unlock new opportunity for AI. So if data is there, so AI will be able to do startup and data-driven policy making. Now, ethical AI development and governance. These approaches are not just on paper. Actually, whatever approaches are there. Okay, quickly let me. Can I continue for 5 minutes? Ethical AI development and governance, if we say, so these are not just on paper, it's already being deployed in governance, whether healthcare, in agriculture, tax, administration, smart city. Let's look at some real world example. Healthcare, ethical guideline for application, AI in biomedical research by ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, and they have released ethical guidelines. And these emphasize a human in the loop model, minimizing risk and ensuring data privacy, defining accountability and promoting accessibility and inclusiveness. India has also joined the Health AI Global Regulatory Framework to strengthen oversight of AI in healthcare, because without oversighting, without human human interaction. Only AI cannot be trustworthy. Next is Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, we all have heard about. Establish a national health stack and unique health IDs for citizens, enable AI-driven data interoperability for seamless sharing of patient record across hospitals, labs, and pharmacies. Foundation for building an integrated digital healthcare system. We know this is like a complete change. And then eSanjeevani is also there. That's a telemedicine platform, enable over 100 million virtual consultants with AI helping reduce diagnostic error. So it's like accessibility of the facilities and services to all in the healthcare, and ethical focus, patient privacy, DPDP Act has been considered, accuracy, safety, and clinical decision making is also there. Agriculture, we know that they have already done AI for crop monitoring and yield prediction. Example, Microsoft and ICRISAT, it's an institution in Hyderabad, is co-piloting pest risk prediction. So similar kind of like intervention was there in agriculture sector with ICRISAT and many more. NARAM managed. There are so many institutions, they are working on this. But now AI is the better efficiently handling the things and managing a lot of issues and our farmers are facing. So precision farming and resource optimization. So this is going to help a lot in terms of farming and things. And then the tools like Kishan Suvidha app provide weather alerts and pricing. So these in agriculture also things are transforming. Ethical focus, data ownership for farmers, avoiding bias in a resource collection. Taxation and finance, if we see, since 20, India's tax administration, CBDT, and the GST has integrated AI tools for fraud detection, risk profiling, and compliance monitoring. These systems help identify any suspicious pattern, such as fake invoice, shell companies, tax evasions, and improving efficiency and transparency in revenue collection. So AI is helping there also. Then law enforcement and security. If you look at the law enforcement, facial recognition system has been used in policy and crime detection. Maharashtra, I have mentioned about the Marvel thing, ethical focus, bias mitigation, consent, privacy. And then urban development, huge scope, smart city projects, AI for traffic management, especially in Pune, Bangalore, Indore, even for waste collection, and the infrastructure planning. Again, ethical focus has been done, transparency of algorithm, DOS community service. So these are the things about this. Now, what are the future challenges? One is harmonizing privacy, cross-border data governance, how to like harmonize privacy, ethics, and trade rules globally. Example, EU-US data privacy framework negotiation to enable safe transitional data flow. So that is difficult challenge for us, how we are going, unless we don't have any kind of negotiations. Liability and accountability, defining responsibility for AI failure and harm, and if it happened, so who will be responsible? Like Tesla, I think most of us has knowing this. Sorry. Tesla autopilot lawsuits over fatal crashes raises accountability issue. We know in US it happens, and even like in Europe or maybe in Britain, UK, Tesla is operating, but they don't give the driverless permission for the driverless autopilot car available there. So that way, ethical compliance metrics, developing, and the challenge we talk about, compliance metrics is required, but it's not that easy. Developing measurable standard for fairness and bias, example, NIC, whatever things we have seen. So how to make the matrices so it is worthiness and like able to use it for the for the compliance. How do we know that okay, these are the matrices and this is coming in the high risk, or it should be banned or something? Regulatory adaptability, updating lawsuits for AI advance and all. So then what lies ahead? What lies ahead? What are the emerging trends? While challenges are significant, the field of AI governance is constantly evolving. New trends like explainable AI, agentic AI, cross-data framework are shaping the future landscape. I think Professor Vijayalakshmi has talked about all this agentic AI and explainable AI in detail. So emerging trends in ethical AI governance, we see we need to have a global regulatory push implementing of EU AI Act, US AI Bill of Rights, national AI strategies that need to be there. Rise of agentic AI, OpenAI, Auto GPT agent used in autonomous research planning and needed strict operational control. Explainable AI, like already explained, fully explainable AI with logical based and reasoning. AI nationalism, China's new generation AI plan emphasizes domestic algorithm and chip sovereignty. So that is again a trend which is happening. An incident response protocol, NIST at risk management framework outlines crisis responses for AI malfunction. And then AI for climate and social good. So how Google DeepMind AI predicts energy demand. It can save power, AI for disaster relief mapping. All these things can be sent. So looking to the interest of the time, I have made it very short. So the call to action is we need to collaborate. Government, industry, academia, and civil society must co-create ethical AI norms for even for developing, shaping ethical AI together. It should not be with the few. It should be with all stakeholders, and not only collaboration. Commitment is required to adopt fairness, accountability, and transparency as non-negotiable principle, and that commitment is required for doing that from the government, from the deployers, for the users, and the act to build adaptive, auditable, and human-centric AI system for governance. So, and lead means position ethical AI as a driver of trust and global leadership. So we need to have all these things in hand, and that is the call for action, so that in real meaning, the ethical AI can help all of us. So choices we make as researchers or policymakers, innovators, and citizens, call of action is very clear. We must ensure it remains human-centric, ethical, and inclusive, so it serves humanity, not the other way forward. So that's all from my side. I hope you must have get some information regarding governance that is going to be for our understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this insightful presentation. We learned a lot about the governance and ethical AI. Participants, do you
One
have
thing
any
I just want
questions?
to, Shweta, I just want to thanks Shweta because for all this effort, that Shweta has helped me a lot. So thanks to Shweta also.
Thank you.
Okay.
Participants, do you have any questions?
Accountability remains a major challenge despite the presence of numerous governance and compliance rules. Is there any ongoing work addressing accountability in cases where rules and knowingly or unknowingly? See, I have mentioned the example of Tesla. That's I think they must be developing something. That's why it is restricted that the auto driving cannot be done in Tesla in some countries, because so this is a kind of hope that even the product is there, but if it is not able to fix accountability, they are not allowing to use it. So I think everything I said you accountability. Okay, even if we know that accountability is there, but who will be responsible, that still has to be decided. So people are working on that. I think lot many agencies, government, they are working on that because they cannot stop the speed of AI. So for making it useful with the ethics, that is the great challenge, and I think they are going to soon. We are going to have some kind of solution for this. I totally agree what you said. Anything?
Thank you, participants. We are taking a break for 15 minutes. Please join us at 3:15 for hands-on session.
Yes, after that, we are going to have some practical exercise based on the information I have shared with you. Okay, see you.